America's debt is now over $38 trillion. So, protect your savings with something real. Gold. Sanctuary Metals helps you move a portion of your retirement into physical gold. Tax-deferred and penalty-free. Please call 800-801-6487 or just visit sanctuarymetals.com to get your free retirement defense guide. That's sanctuarymetals.com.
The Larry Kudlow Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
So one of the big stories ongoing is the Armada, the Iranian Armada or flotilla, as described by President Trump, and negotiations with Iran. The president was somewhat coy about those negotiations. And everybody wants to know what's going to happen. Is there going to be regime change in Iran? And we've got the smartest guy on this and other things, my friend, Ambassador Robert O'Brien, who is a former national security advisor and now the chairman of American Global Strategies. Robert, everybody's waiting. Oil prices have jumped $10. Everybody's waiting for some kind of Iranian attack. And I was reading the New York Post this morning. The Ayatollah, who's been underground, surfaced briefly to celebrate the 47th anniversary. But meanwhile, his son has allegedly been running the country. This is becoming a crazy story. What do you make of it?
Well, this regime has been, unfortunately, very sticky. And the reason it's been able to stay in power, Larry, is because it kills its own people. And we know they probably killed 30,000 people that were protesting recently. As you know, President Trump does not like the killing at all. And I think the regime is going to have to pay for the murder and mayhem that they've conducted. And the son is interesting. I hear he's got a $150 million business empire in Europe.
Oh my God!
So,
oh my God!
The Ayatollah and the Ayatollah Jr. are probably very spiritual men, but they have a secular bent to them as well.
Well, what are we gonna? Are we gonna bomb them or go and hit? How do we? Who's going to take over Iran? I mean, the president says he's given them a deadline, but he won't tell anybody. He says, "Well, it's between me and the Ayatollah or whoever he's talking to." We're loading up, we're loading up with military in the area. I mean, do you think an attack is imminent? I mean, today, tomorrow, Monday. How do you read these tea leaves?
Well, we know what the president does, and we saw this with Venezuela. We saw it with Syria. The president gives a very fair deal, and for the Iranians, he said in the enrichment, in the nuclear program, and send your enriched material that you've already manufactured, send it overseas. You can't have enriched uranium, and you've got to stop your ballistic missile program. So he's given a very fair deal. He said, if you do that, I won't attack. They've come out and said, we're never going to do that because it would be the end of their regime. They think their neighbors and their own people would attack them without a nuclear program. So he's given them a fair deal, but he's put the hammer in place with his Armada, with the Abraham Lincoln, which is a very powerful aircraft carrier, 90 planes on it, plus all the other assets we have in the region. So we see the classic Trump setup that, offer them a fair deal, be reasonable, and if they don't accept, they pay the price. And so I think that the Iranians are going to have to do some soul searching, and if the Ayatollah wants to come up from his bunker for longer than 15 minutes, they better get rid of their nuclear program and do it quick.
We're talking with Ambassador Robert O'Brien, who is a former national security advisor to Mr. Trump, and he's now chairman of American Global Strategies. So, Robert, if you how do you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 means we're going to come in and bomb the hell out of them. 1 means we're just using this as a deterrent. How would you rank the potential for a bombing mission?
Well, Larry, I don't think this is just a deterrent because you don't move that kind of a fleet to the area just to deter Iran. I mean, we can deter them without the fleet there. So the fleet is the fleet's the hammer, and so I think if it's really in the Iranians, the ball's in the Iranians' court. They're going to have to decide if they want their nuclear program or if they want their regime to survive. And they're in a tough position because without the nuclear program, the regime may not survive either. So I think the odds of the hammer being swung by President Trump is pretty high because, one, the Iranians are fanatical. I mean, these guys are not reasonable people. Doing the reasonable, the right thing, the smart thing is not in their, that's not in their character. And number two, they're so brutal and they've killed so many of their own people. I think they've lost all sympathy and respect and benevolence from the West and from President Trump in particular. He you know this, Larry. He always says, even if there are conflicts that don't affect America, why don't they stop the killing? He hates the killing of innocent people. And the Iranians have a lot of blood on their hands. So I would suspect that there will be some sort of kinetic response from the U.S. very soon.
30,000, Robert O'Brien. That's a big number, 30,000.
It's many times. Think of Tiananmen Square and how brutal that was. This was many Tiananmen Squares.
And you're right about Trump. Trump just does not like the killing at all, and he always talks about it when we were, in meetings and so forth. So, again, from a national security standpoint, so you say if we hit them, hurt them, knock them out, who takes over, Robert? I mean, there's that problem too. Trump has raised that point that there's no one ready to take over. How do you see it?
No, you're right, Larry. In that region of the world, it's a very difficult situation. Sometimes you knock out one bad guy and you get someone worse who replaces them. But I think in the Iranian context, it'd be hard to get someone worse. Now, we could end up with a military dictatorship with the Revolutionary Guard trying to take over, and the military taking over. But there is this precedent that we had. It's not quite analogous, but when King Juan Carlos took over from Franco, and was a constitutional monarch and gave a little bit of space for the democratic process to work, we have a crown prince, Pahlavi, the Shah's son. He's a good man. He's an investment banker. He's not a politician. He's not he hasn't been proven as a leader, but he does have some legitimacy as the former leader's son and the crown prince of Persia. So maybe he could come in for 6 or 8 months or a year and oversee a transition to democracy. So that is a potential, and I've been told by a lot of Iranian expats that the people of Iran do love him. So I mean, potentially that could happen. But you're right. We don't know what if the Ayatollah flees to Moscow, which apparently is his plan B. Who takes over is a real issue for us.
I think. Look, I know what's how do you say it? Pahlavi? What? Pahlavi. I know him. I've interviewed him.
Don't trust my Persian.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy, and he's an Iranian. He's a Persian patriot, and there's a huge Persian people in New York, Washington, Los Angeles. Probably Europe as well. It's a huge diaspora. I never know. I mean, and he has a lot of backers, but he doesn't have 100% backers. So I don't know. I take your point. It's a little tricky. I think the Revolutionary Guard. I mean, aren't they? It's a military. It's a communist military dictatorship, isn't it, Robert? Really, they're the ones behind. I know you had the Ayatollahs like the front man, but I always thought that it was the military and the Revolutionary Guard and Secret Service and stuff like that was running the country. And that you're
100% right, Larry. And what they've done is they've taken a page out of the Kudlow, investment handbook, and they control the economy of the country. So the Revolutionary Guard, it's kind of like the Chinese military, or at least the PLA used to be. The sergeants and captains have dry cleaners and video rental shops, and when they had those and cafes, and they control the entire economy. So it's not just a military operation; it's an economic unit that is very powerful. So those people they have money, but they don't have the kind of Ayatollah money to move hundreds of millions of dollars overseas and go to Moscow or Beijing. But they they've got assets in the country and they don't want to leave them. So they're going to be motivated to stay and fight for their privilege.
And one other point, I checked this with my sources in the Treasury Department. Iran, Robert O'Brien, Iran is still producing 3.2 million barrels of oil a day. They're still producing it, and they're selling it. And they have two big customers. Or the biggest customer is China, and then the second biggest is India. But China much more, but India too. So we have sanctions on the oil, allegedly, but we are not enforcing them. We are not enforcing them. The sanctions are there. Actually, they're tough sanctions because if you buy the oil, you're not allowed to do any business with the United States, but this is not being enforced. So they have cash, Robert O'Brien. That's what I'm saying. They're selling oil, and they have cash, and we're not doing anything about it.
Well, I think one of the things that's happening, and that could change very quickly, Larry, because I think it's kind of like Venezuela. The president knows that if he gets regime change, the Iranians are going to need a lot of money to rebuild the country. And if the oil keeps flowing, basically China can buy the oil at market prices instead of paying a big steep discount for the sanctioned oil. They pay market prices, and China can basically rebuild Iran if we can get a regime change. But if the regime doesn't change, we're starting to see this ghost fleet, the tankers that move all this oil from. We're moving it from Venezuela. That's been shut down now. Venezuelans are going legit, and with our persuasion and guidance. And
yes.
This ghost
I got to
fleet
jump.
is now moving. It's now moving the Iranian and Russian oil, but we're going to start. We're shutting down the ghost fleet. So I think we'll be able to enforce these sanctions pretty effectively very soon.
Ambassador Robert O'Brien, my dear friend, he's the chairman now of the American Global Strategies. This is tough stuff. Very, very difficult stuff. All right, folks, we are going to take a break. And on the other side, we are going to do some stock market work for investment to make a buck or two. I'm Kudlow. Please stick around.
The Larry Kudlow Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
America's debt is now over $38 trillion. So, protect your savings with something real. Gold. Sanctuary Metals helps you move a portion of your retirement into physical gold. Tax-deferred and penalty-free. Please call 800-801-6487 or just visit sanctuarymetals.com to get your free retirement defense guide. That's sanctuarymetals.com.